Oh, it's still bloody raining. That's after one of the wettest Julys ever, isn't it, on record? Hey up, Rayvers. Sorry, just lamenting the weather conditions. Piggling down again. I were hoping to get out in garden, do a bit of stuff around garden, but not to be. So yeah, I'll crack on with this week's review. Now, do we have a load of paranoid conspiracy theorists? Or has there been an invasion of the body snatchers? Now, there were a version of this in the 50s. Walter Wanger's version. I shouldn't find that funny, but I do. Walter Wanger. Yeah. Now, I can't remember loads about it, but I do remember enjoying it because I love all that sort of 1950s sci-fi stuff. Can't beat a bit of Cold War paranoia, can you? But this ain't the 50s version I'm looking at today. No, it's the 1970s version. And as it kicks off, we see these sort of microbe things in outer space. But they seem to be flying across the galaxy towards Earth. And they start coming down in rainfall. So yeah, maybe this ain't global warming we need to worry about. Maybe it's alien microbes infecting the planet. Because these microbe things then look like they evolve and develop into these horrible parasitic foreign body things on the plants. Don't look very nice at all. You see, that ladybird ain't impressed. They want well out of it. But out sprouts these pretty cool pink flowers that folks seem quite taken with. And we meet Elizabeth, who's a lab scientist at the health department in San Francisco. But unfortunately, her husband is acting a bit odd. She reckons he's acting very out of character. And she confides this to a colleague, Matthew, played by Donald Sutherland, who's an inspector at the health department.
It's a rat turd.
A what?
A rat turd.
Yeah, it might be a rat turd. Might be a parasitic alien microbe pretending to be a rat turd. We don't know, do we? And Elizabeth tells Matthew she reckons her husband ain't her husband. Reckons she's an imposter. Which obviously sounds ludicrous, doesn't it?
It's a conspiracy, I know.
There can't be a conspiracy.
So, rather than go straight for the tinfoil hats, Matthew advises her to go and have a chat with psychiatrist David Kibner, played by Leonard Nimoy. Now, I enjoyed seeing Leonard Nimoy in this. Obviously, everybody knows Nimoy from his very sort of po-faced portrayal of Spock. Never has any emotions, does he, Spock? Apart from when the scriptwriters run out of ideas and they decide to give him some emotions, which was every other week, to be fair. But yeah, it's nice to see him with some emotions. I enjoyed watching him in Columbo in the 70s. Seeing him as a slimy, arrogant doctor who really got under Columbo's skin.
I believe you killed Sharon Martin, and I believe you're trying to kill Dr. Heidemann.
You've got everything except proof.
You didn't see that often. You didn't see folk really rile Columbo up. It was normally the other way round, weren't it? But Nimoy, I thought he were excellent in that episode of Columbo we were in. Bloody good episode. If that's ever on 5 USA on a Sunday afternoon, I'm watching it, I tell you. Anyway, Kibner comes across a bit of an arrogant arsehole in this, you know. He's one of these psychiatrist blokes who thinks he knows everything, doesn't actually want to hear their problems. He's just too busy trying to show off and diagnose them.
People are stepping in and out of relationships too fast because they don't want the responsibility. That's why marriages are going to hell. The whole family unit is shot to hell.
David, you're not listening to what she's saying.
Matthew, please stay out of this.
And this woman is trying to tell him that her husband is an imposter and all, and he ain't having any of it.
He isn't my husband. It's someone who looks like him. He's an imposter.
So Elizabeth's thinking, aye, I'm not the only one thinking this. There's something afoot here. Well, rain's eased off, so better get out and do a bit in the garden and continue this review in a bit. Okeydoo. Crikey, yeah, that were hard work. Right, having to move some rockery stones around in the garden so Denise could plant these new plants she's got. Absolutely knackered now, about ready for a nap. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, Elizabeth and Matthew are thinking that something weird's going on, and their friends, Jack, who's played by young Jeff Goldblum, and his wife Nancy, who's played by the lass who were in Aliens. Excellent at screaming, this woman. Brilliant at screaming. Always looks in a lot of distress in these sorts of films. Very good. But yeah, where was it? Yeah, they run some sort of massage relaxation place. And they discover some weird body resembling Jeff Goldblum, but it's sort of covered in cellophane and goop and stuff. And they realise it's a duplicate of Jeff Goldblum. And what's happening is these folk who are behaving all weird, they're not the actual folk. They've been replaced by these pod people. And basically these parasitic alien microbe thingies are creating these pods, what are duplicating the humans. But the crucial thing is you've got to not fall asleep. Basically, once they've got your DNA or whatever it is they use, if you fall asleep, you're stuffed. Because what happens when you doze off is you hear this eerie science fiction sound effect. And a pod person pops out at pod, and if you don't wake up, they replace you. I don't understand the science behind it, but it's alien stuff, isn't it? So just go with it. Now, understandably, this creates an air of paranoia, doesn't it? Who do you trust? Who's a pod person? Who's a real person? And we've seen this theme in other films, like The Thing, where you don't know who to trust. Who's the Thing? Is that bloke the Thing? Is he the Thing? Maybe I'm the Thing. And in They Live, where aliens have taken over the planet, but we don't know who's an alien and who ain't. Is he an alien? Is she an alien? Am I an alien? Very common theme, this sort of paranoia. Because something that fuels the paranoia is nobody believes them. The authorities ain't interested.
Is this just a case of paranoia, Mr. Fennell?
But is that because they're in on it? Oh, you just don't know who to trust, do you? It was like that in The Invaders. That was basically what happened every week. David Vincent would turn up in a different town and try and tell somebody in authority about these alien invaders. And whoever it showed, sure enough, it turned out they were an invader. What was the clue in the end? They couldn't bend their finger or something, weren't it? They had a straight pinky, couldn't bend their pinky, something like that. I don't think it ever finished that programme. I reckon it got axed. I think it got axed, didn't it? Anyway, in Body Snatchers, looks like the conspiracy reaches far and wide, and seemingly everybody in the town is in on it. The good guys are trying to stay awake. They can't go to sleep, because if they fall asleep, that's it, it's over. Don't know how long they can keep that up for. I mean, I'm knackered now. After a spot of gardening, I need a nap now. So, spot of canoodling. That'll keep him up, won't it? Now, as well as the overriding sense of paranoia, there's loads of other stuff in this film what makes you feel uneasy. Not least these alien plants. Yeah, wrapping the sense around you. Horrible. Not been this scared of plants since I watched the Triffids. And the pod people are pretty grim. Yeah, they're all sort of covered in gunk. You sort of recognise them, but you don't recognise them. Do you know what I mean? It's very off-putting. And whenever a pod person spots a real person, they emit this weird blood-curdling shriek. Very unnerving. Plus there's this horrible human-dog thing. Presumably there's been a pod malfunction there, and they've got some crossbreeding going on. But, God, that looks disgusting, doesn't it? And Robert Duvall is in this for about 5 seconds as a priest on a swing. I mean, that's pretty odd, isn't it? I had to check IMDb to see if it were him, but it were him. And he wrote, as the film progresses, more and more folk get turned into pod people. And Leonard Nimoy, well, we knew he were wrong, and right from the start, he were a tit. And we're left with Matthew and Elizabeth on the run, desperately trying to stay awake. But just as they think all is lost, they hear the sound of the port, and some ships coming in. They think, oh great, we can get out of here. And Matthew goes to investigate. Well, that's a rookie mistake, ain't it? That's going to end badly. Never split up. Never split up. And sure enough, his heart sinks, no pun intended, as it's revealed that the boats are actually transporting these pods all over the country. And there's no way out. And Matthew returns to Elizabeth and, oh no! She's fallen asleep! Oh, bloody hell, you idiot! Why did you leave her, you pillock? And he's desperately trying to wake her up, but she ain't having it. She ain't getting up. And sure enough, she's been taken over by a pod person. Nude! Yes, I got the lewd themes warning in advance for this one. Does seem a bit gratuitous, that, but, yeah. And we see that when you're replaced by a pod person, you just disintegrate into dust, a big pile of dust. Oh, no. I mean, that must be loads of dust. I mean, to get rid of all them bodies, they must be caning through the Henry Hoover bags. And I often wonder with these sorts of films, maybe it's better to be taken over. A bit like zombie films. How do we know that being a zombie ain't great? I mean, I get that nobody wants to get bitten by a zombie and then find themselves wandering around like an aimless cannibal for the rest of eternity. But it might be brilliant. You don't have to worry about anything, do you? You just sit there, gorming away, happy as Larry. So maybe being a pod person is pretty good.
There's nothing to be afraid of. They were right. It's painless.
Exactly. But Matthew ain't having that. He's trying to stay awake. And some time's pass, but we see him trying to walk around undetected by the pod people, observing them as they seem to be steadily taking over the planet. And he bumps into Jeff Goldblum's missus, who also is trying to stay undetected to survive. So it's a relief that the pair of them have managed to... Oh no! Oh no. Look at that, great distressed acting from her though. She's brilliant at that, isn't she? Brilliant. Right, Rayvers, I'm flagging here, need a nap. So, best crack on with my ratings. So, yeah, what we're expecting with this? Well, I enjoyed the original. Do like my 1950s sci-fi. So we're hoping for at least a 3-star film. But as you probably know by now, if you're a regular raver, I do love my 1970s sci-fi, I know. Don't reckon the 60s were quite as good, but 50s and 70s, great for sci-fi, I reckon. And you know what, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course it's depressing 1970s science fiction. Of course there's no happy ending. It just leaves you with a sense of dread, doesn't it? But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm rating Invasion at Body Snatchers a 4-star, 3-star film. Oh, crikey. Right, I'm going to have a quick nap. Hope you enjoyed my review of Invasion at Body Snatchers. And if you did, poke the old like button for me. And maybe you could just gesticulate towards the like button and emit a blood-curdling scream. No, maybe not. Share your reviews with your mates and subscribe if you ain't already a subscriber. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. And thank you as always for your fantastic comments. I really do enjoy reading them. They mean a lot. Thank you very much for that. I've had some very kind words from you and I really do appreciate it. So thank you. And anyway, copyright box permitting, I will be back with another review for you very soon. So I will see you next time.